Good afternoon. Welcome to FastBraiin Live. Have you ever had a child that wouldn't get up in the morning? I have. And they wouldn't do their homework, certainly not on time, except when it's time to go to bed. Oh, I got all this homework to do, Dad. Uh, and do they stay on task? I think the rule is we don't stay on task. So I'm Dr. Jim Poole. I am founder of FastBraiin. And what I realize is that having ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, is really not what we got. What we have is we feel that those of you that are very analytical and do things on time and stay focused, are like a turtle. Everything is very analytical. We're like a rabbit. We're fast brain, we're go, go, go. We don't have problem with attention. We have problem with people that are boring. And if you watch us, we are constantly moving from the one thing to another, to another, to another. Watch a child in a room full of toys. They'll play with the toy for 5 minutes and then they switch and want what somebody else has. And then they switch and go to something else. And why is that? That's because they got bored with the last thing. There's so many aspects of FastBraiin that I really want to spend time over the next weeks going to a lot of different aspects. And what we're on to now is talking about leadership. So if you look at leadership and people with attention deficit, they go hand in hand. So I'm going to be using the term FastBraiin and ADHD almost interchangeably. But again, I don't see this as a disease and a problem. Some of you that if you're new to this, you wonder why I have two eyes and brain. Well, it's a very simple, very logical, very well thought out thing, is that in the middle of the night when I came up with FastBraiin, I misspelled it. So there it goes. Left side of my brain says, you crazy guy, you misspelled it. And the right side, let's trademark it. So we trademarked it the next day. So in our practice of over 10,000 patients, we never used the term ADHD. We used the term FastBraiin. Even had a 10-year-old girl say, Dr. Jim, I feel sorry for people that aren't FastBraiin. All right, so if you've had all these issues, I want you to know that you've come to the right place. I've got 3 boys, and I have a brother and a sister that are, quote, ADD off the charts, very much FastBraiin. So now we're going to talk about leadership. So let's talk about leadership. Let's talk about the making of a leader. And when you come to this, and when you talk about leadership and staying on task and how do you get people to work together and kids that don't come to dinner because they're all playing a video and they're doing all these different things, what we do is we look at the parent, the school, the behavior, and the child. Because when you're making a leader, leaders are not born. Leaders are made, and they start being made right off the bat. Are you giving your child a way to learn how to be a leader, even within the household? Something as simple as cleaning up your room. We send kids to cleaning up the room all the time. I remember a dad was in and we had had a 30-minute meeting and he was all set and his child was all over the place and behavioral issues. And I said, let's bet $50 and send to his room that he's not going to clean it up. And you're going to bet $50 that he will. And oh, the dad was so mad. He jumps up, he's leaving the room. And I said, wait a minute, just before you leave, I want to ask one simple question. Why do you keep sending your child to the room to clean up his room if you know he's not going to clean it up? So what we have to do is we have to develop a partnership. We got to develop a partnership and communicate to our child, what are the needs? What do we need to accomplish? And then get the child to accomplish. If you're going to clean up do 90% of cleaning up the room, let's let the child, you do the first 90%, not the last 90%. And then let you and the child have a race to do the last 10%. And then next time, maybe 15%. And next time, maybe you and the child work together for 40%. So you see where we're working and we're teaching your child, and then you give your child bonuses and sort of thing if they go do it right away. So one of the things with making a leader is there's a lot of success and there's a lot of failures. Matter of fact, every good general has had a lot of failures growing up through the Army ranks. every good individual and business owner, lots of failures. You say, well, wait a minute, how did they become so successful? Because they had failures and they learned from their failures. Every good athlete has had many failures. I played competitive tennis. I was on a college team. I played in state and national tournaments, and I will tell you, I've had more failures and losses than I've had wins. I played basketball coming along. I missed a lot of shots, a lot more than Michael Jordan did. But I tell you, the deal is not to be concerned about the failure. Be concerned about, are you teaching them anything off of the failure? Did they learn anything? So what did you learn? If you're going to videotape your child at a sporting event, what did they learn? Not, oh, you did this wrong. What did you learn from doing that? So remember that people are not made. They evolve into all the environment and the aspects of everybody around them. That's what makes your child, and you as a parent are the lead teacher. So what I want you to do is to be that teacher. So when you're looking at this, there's Theodore Roosevelt, and y'all have all seen it. It's called The Man in the Arena. And what he talks about is it's not the critic that counts. It doesn't do any good to criticize. Matter of fact, when you are at work, get criticized, you come home, what do you want? You want a hug from your spouse. You want a hug from somebody. What does our child get when they do badly in school? They get chastised, sent to their room, and disciplined. Is that what they want? I don't think so. So it's not being the critic. We all watch TV and everybody criticizes somebody that's tried something. That's not the way to go. I really get on. To me, we're watching sports on TV and the announcers are criticizing the players. No, the credit is to the person that has worked hard, and it's to the man who is actually in the middle of the arena. He is the one that's important. And if you don't make an effort, if the quarterback doesn't try, Wayne Gretzky says, I miss every shot that I didn't take. So why do we chastise people that miss the shot? You've got to support them. So there is no effort without an error and a shortcoming. Okay? And when we look at somebody that fails, help them by learning. At least let them fail by doing and daring greatly. And that's from Theodore Roosevelt. And so we want to do that. And what do I want you as a parent? I want you to become a leader maker. And that starts early. So when they do something, now, I got to quantify that. I don't want you to be a helicopter parent. And if a child does poorly or, double dribbles or dribbles up, makes a bad pass, you can talk about it, but not in critiquing the person, but how could they have learned to do that better or differently, or learn to dribble with their left hand? What could they do? How could they hit the tennis ball differently? Where could they have placed it? That's what you want to talk about. I have one coach who was discussing, he would stop the play and then make his student discuss what the shot was going to be, what was the next play, what was about to happen. And you as a student would have to go, oh, well, maybe he needs to hit it here or hit it there or make this pass or run this direction. Then you continue playing the video. What a great way of teaching and doing that. So when we talk about this, we're talking about getting out of our comfort zone. Remember the old stories of the eagle who gets pushed, we say, oh my gosh, you mean the eagle pushes the child off the nest to help them fly? Yeah, they do that to make them fly. So we got to do that. And that's what we're about. We're not about ADHD and give you a pill and help you focus. Heck no. We're about getting pushed off the nest. And then, now what do? I'm pushed off. I got to fly. We need to help them fly. So I want you to embrace the discomfort that you are feeling as a parent, that your child is feeling. Embrace it. It's okay. It's okay that you fail. But now we discuss not the failure. We discuss what could you have done differently. Same way with grades. It's not that you made a D on the test. What could you have done differently? Not, I told you you need to study harder. what does study harder mean anyway? I've always wondered, what does harder mean? No, it means I need to have reviewed 5 times. And if you reviewed 5 times and made a C, maybe you need to review 6 times or skip a day and go over it again. So we've got lots of tricks that teach our brain how to learn. So why is there Little League basketball? That's another great one. I mean, I love going to Little League basketball games. These kids, they can't dribble, they can't steal. You're not allowed to steal, and they have the biggest trouble. The tallest team wins. They usually win by 20 points, and in these games they don't keep score. So why is there Little League baseball? Or basketball or football? It's so that they will learn as they get older to do better, and you have to start that learning now. So again, becoming a leader on the team, becoming a leader on your basketball team as a little kid, helping control the game. Did you make, when I would talk to my boys who are all on state championship tennis teams and were all conference, all 3 of them, one of the things we would talk about, what did you do to make your team better? And it wasn't about the points. It was about passing. It was about defense. It was about steals. It was a lack of turnovers. None of that had to do with the points. Matter of fact, one of my boys scored a lot of points in a state playoff. And the first thing he said was, "Dad, don't tell anybody how many points I scored." Okay, which I thought was awesome. I mean, really awesome. And so it really is an important thing. So what we want to do when we're talking about leadership is we want to focus on training. We want to allow our child to go fast. I think I talked last time that Mario Andretti said, if things are totally under control on the racetrack, you're not going fast enough. I love kids and adults that are going fast. What we work for at FastBraiin is the transformation of seeing that individual who was struggling now wants to learn, wants to get better. And yeah, they made the mistake, but it was okay. Now how to do it. One of the things that we implemented, what I think every school should implement, is you do a test till you make an A. I'll never forget, I was reading a editorial in the newspaper, and somebody said, "Oh, the science teacher got Science Teacher of the Year." And the comment was, "Well, of course he did, because he gave everybody an A." So I had to see the next day, what did he say? Looking in the paper, he said, "I didn't give anybody an A. If you did the work, you got an A." In medicine, in my residency, it was see one, do one, teach one. So we'd read about it, then we'd watch somebody do it, we would then go do it, and then really where we learned was teaching it. So that whole aspect, it's not about getting it right at first. It's about learning so that you get it right at the end. And you don't care as a patient how many times it took me to learn it. You just hope to learn it. I know when I had heart surgery, I just hoped the heart surgeon learned it. And I took a book for him to read the night before. No, just kidding. But it's the whole thing. So as we see transformation in our FastBraiin kids, we want to see speed. We want to see our ability to adapt, to be agile. And the one thing we all can do is hyper-focus. Watch your FastBraiin child. They don't want to leave what they're doing. Say they're playing a video game and you say, "Come on, we got to get in the car." They are hyper-focused. I remember patients coming in, "Oh, help my child, he can't focus." And I said, "You play video games?" "Oh, yeah." "Can he play for 10 minutes?" "Oh, my gosh, he can play for an hour." Well, don't tell me you can't hyper-focus. So we have to make life so that it's changing, it's going. But again, back to being that leader. The leader is somebody that can hyper-focus. They do have the ability to be to agile, adapt. They go fast. You can't be slow and be a leader. You need to be quick and fast. And that's what the whole thing is all about. So as we do this and as we end today's session, I want you to realize that you are the ones in control of your child. You're the ones that can help this child really become something. But the only way you can do is to push them off the nest, to help them when they fail something. You go, "Great, now what did we learn from that?" So these are really strong aspects of things. So I want to thank you all for paying attention to me today. I thank you for helping me get FastBraiin started, and we're really, really excited about this. And we're going to, I want to hear a lot of ways and things that you want to talk about, how you perceive that we at FastBraiin see the ADHD individual as being successful. All our FastBraiin kids, and we had a 94% success rate in my clinic of 10,000 patients, and we're going to bring that to your child and to your family. So thank you very much for today, and I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Now, does anybody have any questions? You could put it in the live chat.
So the question is it, I mean, the answer is obviously no, but is it ever too late to start? Like, how are these techniques and these leadership?
All right, is it ever too late to start this kind of reaction? Um, yeah, so I'd give up. So we know the answer is no, but I think the question is, can I change my child? They're not 5 anymore. They're not 10 anymore. They're not 18 anymore. They're not 23 anymore. Everybody, adults change. We have a huge adult population because this whole thing is changing. It's understanding who you are. And at each age group, we are beginning, certainly when I talk to 5-year-olds, I talk to them differently than when they're 12 and when they're teenagers, because teenagers are sitting there hunting, trying to figure out who they are, and their life is totally changing. And then at 23, all of a sudden, oh, I think I got it now. And so that's why when you're teenager, you let the teenagers experiment. You let them try different things. So that idea, is it ever too late? Never too late. It is never. Uh, One of my oldest patients she was in her 60s, and she said, "This has been the greatest thing. I wish I had done this a long time ago." But it's that feeling of feeling comfortable with who you are. All right.
Sounds like we're about
All right.
to wrap it up.
Thank y'all very much. We hope to see y'all next time, and we keep the questions coming to me, and we're going to keep this FastBraiin idea of really unleashing FastBraiin to help leaders become leaders and realize that it's these FastBraiin people are the leaders. They're not analytical. They have to use their abilities to do these things. And so I'm wanting you to start with your child or your teenager and teach them how to be a leader and do it now. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.